You know, of all the things that might have happened in Shangri-La Frontier this week, an R-rated scene was not on my bingo card. And I don't think there's any other way to put it than when our boy, Russ she really enjoys the robots. And I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that robots might turn her on. So, Saraku did warn her that, hey, we're gonna have performance issues if we bring him out right now. He's a little undercharged. The battery's been drained. She says, that's fine. So our big bird friend is just laying there lifeless. And because we know that it could be easy to forget for some people, with Shangri-La Frontier, the graphics and the mechanics, it's a lot more realistic and is considered the most realistic out of any video game. So her little mecha video game, while she enjoyed it, she was like, oh my god, like movable joints, this, that, and the third, and she was grinding on that thing. She was rubbing all over. I thought they were gonna leave her be. I think he made the right call by removing it, because I think maybe a few more seconds with that thing and her armor would have been stripped off and she would have been it really would have been an R-rated scene. And you could say I'm exaggerating all you want, but it is crystal freaking clear that we were a few steps away from her taking a ride on that limp, lifeless bird. God help them all. If that isn't peak, I don't know what is. Of course, if you want to support my work, see my full thoughts on these amazing Shangri-La episodes. We got the Patreon, full live reactions, available exclusively up there if you're so interested. So, exciting freaking episode. We basically go up against Gyarados' long-lost cousin, and it was awesome. They confirm a lot, and they also seemingly indicate how this season's gonna wrap up. So last week, they introduced the concept of 7 days, right? They had like so many hours, it equaled 7 days. And I did see a handful of people, I wouldn't say it was like the majority opinion, but I did see enough people say this that it made me consider, well, maybe they're onto something. I was under the assumption it was 7 IRL days. And I saw varying opinions from, well, you can't do IRL days for an online game. To that, I argued, yes, you can, because even stuff like WoW or any other MMO does exactly that. But I can see where the argument comes from. It's 7 days with you logged in. Turns out, no, it is 7 days. They plan for it, and essentially what ends up happening is that the only real day they're all going to be logged in at the same time is day 7. So it's going to be a time crunch for sure. But with a time crunch comes a lot more anxiety, so that's going to be fun. Sonraku's logging out. He says he would love to come back every single day, but he has other plans. And that plan? The tournament. And seemingly that's what we're going for. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do. It doesn't really feel like an abrupt stop. I really was feeling like it was going to. Like, if they went out of this to go to the tournament or whatever, it just kind of feel like blue ballsing the viewers who want to see more of this quest line, especially because there's a timer, seemingly. And I thought the way they were going to get around it was the timer was stopped when he was logged out. But no, seemingly not. But I don't really feel like they blue balls me. They all reunited, minus Siger Zero. She dipped before, basically, they all met up. Not sure what she was implying. She's like, I promise I'll come back, blah, blah, blah. So maybe she'll end up clearing some shit while we're gone. That would be a spice reunion for Sunraku. Either way, it just felt like a good stopping point. They showed us more of this world, and the fact that no matter how much damage happens in this inverted city, the Kraken can revert it if he wants to, because it's all about entertainment. And I just felt like, I don't know, it felt like a good stopping point. It didn't feel like an abrupt stopping point, meaning that I'm excited to see this tournament and this game and what they're gonna do. And ultimately, I think it's gonna be a really fun time, and maybe by the time we finish it, maybe there'll be enough time that we go back to this a little bit before we wait for Season 3, or they're just going to focus on this. Whatever they do, I think it's going to be a really good time. And it was just really fun because the thing about Shangri-La is its animation. I think anyone who's been watching it now for 45 episodes recognizes it's one of the most consistent shows that's currently airing. I mean, they had 25 straight episodes of Fire, took a 9 month break, I forget how long, but it was a very short turnaround for another 25 freaking episodes. And the animation for this giant water dragon fish serpent thing, like it really functioned like a Gyarados. The way they explained how, like, essentially because it's inverted, how you can then, it's able to essentially fly through nothing, but it's flying through water. The fact that you actually let the thing move like a snake or a fish would, which is, it does its little twisty turnies and, moves along. The fact that it's that large, there's a couple of moments I noticed when it went 3D, when it was more like, it wasn't fully focused in on the camera, But that's not a bad thing. Like, the fact that they keep it that consistent is just so impressive to me. And I just love the fact that Sunraku, this is my favorite thing about how he plays this game. And I'll use the Crystal Scorpions as an example. He uses the physics engine and the idea of game mechanics far better than a lot of gamers would, and more than we can really do in our own game. Sure, if you play Mario Kart, you know certain things about acceleration and stuff like that, but a lot of games don't really allow you to have this much detail. The idea that because even though the city's inverted, the idea of how it's forcefully stopped and stuff and switches around, he's able to use that against it, similar to how when he used the Crystal Scorpion's force to pile them up so that they would all go overside the cliff. I just love the fact that he thinks like that, and I think if you have a game that this realistic with this much detail, that gives the player that much freedom, not just a couple of button presses, yeah, they're gonna come up with stuff like this, and I thought it was really, really cool. Unfortunately, there was one theory I saw that seemingly is not coming to fruition, which is that, well, if the safe zones are the building, in theory, potentially you could open up the door to the rabbit village and send our bunnies back home. Apparently not. In Sunraku's defense, he does recognize that, hey, you know, if I die, I just go back to the save point. If they die, nope. Still, let this be a lesson, Sunraku. You want to take a mule on your casual adventures? Sure. We know it's dangerous, but we get it. Never, if we know damn sure that we're doing something with a unique boss, you leave them home. This is a neglectful parent, damn it. We need social services to come in here and take a mule from him. Maybe if he's lucky, he can see her on weekends. Like, shit, man. Like, I get it was an accident, but goddamn. Because, like, he knows, right? Like, that's why he never took her with, like, on the Weathermon fight and stuff, right? And why he leaves her behind a lot. But, man, this was a self-inflicted wound. Like, he knew he was going on a quest. Like, even if he didn't expect the Kraken to show up, why? Why did you do this, boy? It's funny, too, the difference between brother and sister. Brother's just kind of like, haha, this is a fun adventure. A mule petrified. Just poor, poor girl. Great episode, though. Never quite goes exactly where you think it's going to. And I just really appreciate how they can have such intense, exciting moments on top of, is that girl really grinding on a robot? Should we give her a room? Should we leave? I feel like we shouldn't be watching this. All I'm saying is Sunraku probably needs to wash that bird down is all I'm saying. You let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Vi, Anthony Silva, Luvenga Games, Macvelli, Christopher Stevenson, Shadow Clone Rex, Zach Zardonks, and we also have Natasha N. Henry. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You all have a good one.